Tuesday, October 3rd. There's something I forgot to record here about Joey's first day at Tangerine Middle School. Or maybe I didn't forget. Maybe I just wanted to block it out. But after what he said yesterday, I can't. The scene came back to me today on the way home. It was last Monday. I was sitting in homeroom. Suddenly, Joey walked in and handed Ms. Pollard a pass. He was all by himself, no Teresa to show him around like I had hoped. Miss Pollard told him to take a seat, so he came back and sat by me. He was all smiles and he said something like, "Hey, so far so good." I said, "Where's Teresa?" "Who?" "Teresa. Teresa Cruz? I told you to ask for her as a guide." "Oh yeah, she's back in the office. I saw her there." "What, is she guiding somebody else today?" "Nah, I just said I didn't need it. What do I need a guide dog for?" "A guide dog? You're calling Teresa a guide dog?" Joey laughed. "Come on, man, lighten up. What, do you think she's good looking?" I thought about that. "Yeah, I guess I do." Joey still had that cocky smile plastered on his face. "Then you've been here too long." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I just shook my head. I finally said, "I gotta tell you, you're coming in here with the wrong attitude." "Hey, what's the big deal? I got here okay without a guide, right? You'd have to be blind to get lost in this place." "Oh, is that right? So now you're calling me blind?" "No, I'm not calling you blind. You're calling Teresa a dog." "No, I'm just pointing out that she's not my type." The bell rang for first period. All I had time to say was, "Don't do this. Don't come in here with attitude." Like I said, that scene came back to me today. We had our first meeting for the science project. Each group of kids pulled their desks together. The leftover kids then got put into their own groups. Joey and I pulled our desks into a circle with Henry D., Teresa, and Tino. I was surprised when Teresa, not Tino, took charge of the meeting, and it was obvious that she had done this sort of thing before. Teresa began by reading the assignment aloud. "To research and present information about an agricultural product that is native to this area of Florida." Then she passed out a glossy one-page ad with a picture of a citrus tree laden with fruit. "When we heard this assignment, Tino and I knew right away what we were going to write about. I just gave you all an advertisement for an agricultural product that was developed by our brother, Louis. It's a new variety of citrus that he has named the Golden Dawn Tangerine. This tangerine is seedless, very juicy, and very resistant to cold weather, which makes it perfect for this area. Louis thinks it could even return this area to its former prominence as the tangerine capital of the world. He just got it registered with the state this year as a new variety. Now he's starting to market it to citrus growers in Florida, California, and Mexico. So our report is going to be called The Golden Dawn Tangerine." Teresa passed out sheets of paper that had our report title typed across the top. She said, "What we want to do today is divide up the research part of the project. Tino and I will concentrate on Louis's invention and what he had to do to register it with the state. Someone else can do the history of the citrus industry in this area. Henry, we thought you could do that part. You know, when did citrus start growing here? What are the types of trees that grow best here? That kind of thing." Henry D. nodded and jotted something down. Then Teresa turned to me. "Somebody else could do basic research on what a tangerine is and how it's grown. We thought that you and your friend could handle that." I nodded. Teresa added, "Any questions?" Henry D. said, "Excuse me, how long did it take for your brother to invent this tangerine?" Tino answered, "His whole life. I can't remember a time when Louis wasn't working on this. And I don't know if Teresa made this clear or not, but this is really a big deal. It's like inventing a new kind of medicine or something. Louis is going to be totally famous for doing this." Teresa said, "Louis is real interested in helping us, too. He'll answer questions and he'll show us all how it's done. We figure we'll get all this research in, then we'll have an organizational meeting, probably with Louis. Then each group can write its section of the report, give it to me, and I'll type it all up." Joey interrupted her. "Just put it all on a disk and give it to me. I'll run it off on the laser jet at home." Teresa looked away. She seemed flustered. She said, "We don't have a computer. We use a typewriter." Tino snapped at him. "You got a problem with that, Tuna?" Joey stared him down. "No, I don't have a problem with that. I guess I got a problem with you." "Yeah? You're gonna have a big problem with me. Bigger than you know, chump." I felt I had to head this off, so I said, Come on, you guys, forget this. Shut up, Tino snarled, his eyes still locked on Joey's. Joey, I said, it's Tino's group, right? We agreed to that when we joined. Joey stood up and moved his desk back. He looked at me with disgust. You agreed to that. You'd agree to anything, not me. I'm joining another group. He started to drag his desk away, but then he stopped and looked at Tino, adding sarcastically, not that your brother and his new type of banana aren't fascinating. Tino jumped up and lunged at him, but Joey was too fast. He leaned back, and Tino flew past him, landing on the desks of the next group. Mrs. Potter was there before he could recover. She got a grip on Tino's arm and hustled him out into the hallway. Joey turned on me. This is how you get by here, right? You kiss up to these guys? You're scared of these guys? What are you talking about? I'm not scared. You're a gutless wonder, Fisher. You're afraid of girls. You're afraid of your own brother. Now you're afraid of these lowlifes? They treat you like a dog and you take it? Take it? You like it. You think they're your friends. Everyone's eyes were on Joey. He was red-faced and angry. Let me tell you something. You're bigger than this little punk. You know that? And I'm bigger than you. If he ever messes with me again, I don't care where it is, I'm going to punch him out. Mrs. Potter stepped back into the classroom and signaled for Joey to join her in the hall. He walked out, and everybody's eyes turned to me. I had no clue what to do. I just stood there. Finally, Teresa broke the tension. So, are you joining another group or what? I answered immediately. No, I want to stay here. Teresa spoke to the class. Then let's all sit down. I spent the rest of the period staring at a blank piece of paper, trying to sort out what had happened. Joey came back at the end of the period and sat down with the leftover group behind me. Tino didn't come back at all. The word at practice was that he had been suspended for 3 days.